An effective content distribution strategy requires consistent optimization. Identifying a goal and understanding your target audience will help you choose the right channels, but running tests is how you'll refine your strategy and get the most out of your distribution efforts. In the context of developing a content distribution strategy, testing involves running experiments that help you determine the most effective distribution channels. This is helpful for those interested in exploring a new channel because it allows you to discover new channel opportunities with minimal risk. Rather than testing new channels during important campaigns and hoping for the best, you can feel confident running carefully crafted tests that ensure long-term success. But make sure you don't use too many variables or forget to test for statistical significance. In marketing, statistical significance is when the results of your research show that the tested variables influence each other and aren't random. Let's say you test promoting content through LinkedIn and see 50 more conversions than your other social media channels bring. Just because LinkedIn converted more contacts doesn't mean it'll produce higher conversions next time. Running statistically significant tests will ensure you can recreate these results for future promotions. So, how can you effectively run tests that provide reliable results? There are 5 steps. Identify a channel to test, develop a hypothesis, build your test, run the experiment, and analyze your results. Let's take a closer look at what's involved in each. Identifying a channel to test is first. Choosing a channel depends on your goals, target audience, and whether you have the resources to create promotional assets for that channel. Let's use an example to help illustrate what this could look like. Snoo City, a fictitious mattress retailer, created a new mattress quiz to help struggling sleepers assess the right mattress for them. They wanted this content to drive new leads for the company and set a goal to generate 1,000 leads by the end of the year. Knowing they had a hefty goal to achieve, they considered promoting the content through Instagram, a channel that worked for them previously, but they also wanted to test another channel that could drive better results. They planned to target their primary buyer persona, Side Sleeper Solange, and learn this audience used social media. They evaluated the different social media channels and considered the resources needed to create the promotional assets for each channel. Snoo City decided to test promoting their content through TikTok and compared the results to Instagram. This is a great example of how you should consider your goals, audience, and resources to choose the right channel. Once you've chosen your channel, it's time to develop your hypothesis. A hypothesis is a research-based statement that aims to explain an observed trend and create a solution that will improve the result. Just like a science experiment, creating a hypothesis will give you direction for what you're testing. It'll also serve as a benchmark for whether your expectations were met. Let's revisit Snoo City. Snoo City wanted to test whether TikTok was a worthy new channel to invest in by comparing how it performed to Instagram, a channel they knew worked. A hypothesis for their test was, promoting the mattress quiz through TikTok will drive 10% more conversions than promoting it through Instagram. This is a strong hypothesis because it's specific and doesn't tackle multiple variables at once. When developing your hypothesis, make sure it has a clear metric, it isn't subjective, and you can prove or disprove it. Now it's time to build your test. This is where you take your hypothesis and figure out the details of how you'll create and launch your experiment. Important details to determine include your promotional assets, the test timeline, KPIs or key performance indicators, and DRIs or directly responsible individuals for the major activities. Here's what Snoo City's test looked like. They plan to run their test for 1 month, starting on May 1st and ending on May 31st. It was important to gather a large sample size, so they plan to promote the content 3 times on each channel. Promotions happened on May 1st, 11th, and 27th, all at 12 p.m. They needed to create 3 video assets to share on both channels and the quiz's landing page. Their KPI was quiz conversions. Finally, they assigned DRIs to major activities such as Kiana to create the video assets, Calvin to run the Instagram promotions, and Flora to monitor the TikTok promotions. Your test should provide just as many details or more. Make sure you're running your test long enough to gather enough data and that you minimize any variables outside of your hypothesis. Test durations vary and depend on when you'll reach statistical significance, but experts recommend running your test for at least 1 or 2 weeks. After you've built your test, it's time to run the experiment. A majority of the heavy lifting is done by this point, and now it's a matter of waiting for the experiment to run its course. You can continually monitor the test to make sure all promotions have gone out as planned, but don't get too wrapped up in the results. It can be tempting to make assumptions during the experiment, but allowing your test to run its course will ensure accuracy. Once the course has reached completion, it's time to analyze the results. One of the most important aspects in this step is to test for statistical significance. Consider using HubSpot's free significance calculator or Neil Patel's A/B testing significance calculator. You can find links to these tools in the resources section. The other important aspect is to determine whether your hypothesis was correct. Let's see what this looked like for Snooze City. After running the experiment for 1 month, they found the quiz landing page received 2,000 views during the test period. Instagram converted 150 people, which was an 8% conversion, and TikTok converted 390 people, which was a 20% conversion. The team used HubSpot's significance calculator and determined the test was statistically significant. The hypothesis was also correct since TikTok drove 12% more conversions than Instagram. This test informed the team that TikTok was a reliable channel they could use for future promotions. Similarly, your analysis should include metrics as well as what those metrics mean for your distribution strategy. It's okay if your hypothesis proved incorrect, since this information is still valuable in understanding which channels aren't worth your time and money. Testing new channels using this 5-step framework will ensure you're creating repeatable experiments that are statistically significant. You'll be able to trust your results and feel confident deciding what this means for your distribution strategy. The more you test, the more you'll learn. And the more you learn about how your content performs on each channel, the easier it'll become reaching your target audience online.